And same with the omegas when they were the last to enter the essential scene.
They were, and I've also taken these products and worked behind the scenes with the farmers and all of our ingredient suppliers and manufacturers to make sure that every step of the way we're testing everything so that our customers, which include myself and Mitra and Mitra's kids, are all going to be protected and can always count on these being the best nutritional products that are available in the world today. And the Omega Blend, I definitely consider one of my babies, like my favorite kid. How many of you guys have a favorite kid? Both of our kids are in the audience right now. They're wondering, like, they're going to ask me. But yeah, so I love the Omega Blend. So, Juice Plus, I was so excited about the Omega Blend, I forgot I had to keep talking, sorry. Well, Juice Plus has definitely created a range of top-notch nutritional support products. Today, we do actually want to highlight just a few that you may recognize as important based on what's out there in the media today, and hopefully this presentation will help you cut through that noise and the promises of that magical Nepenthe.
Yes, and these products will help you notice results sooner rather than later. Back in the day, I had to wait sometimes 4 to 6 months for people to feel the effects of just the fruit and veggie blend. But when the berry blend came along, people started to feel results sooner, and same with the Omega Blend. So these are, let's start with the berry blend. Berry blend, as you said, it's very rich in polyphenols. And I just want to dive into a little bit of the research on this for a second. So what are polyphenols? Well, in short, they slow down every aspect of the aging process at the cellular molecular level. It's estimated that there's over 8,000 of these polyphenols. And now, we talked about how Juice Plus has been a pioneer in the industry. One of the problems of being a pioneer is that you're so ahead of the game that it's hard for the average person to see why we are the pioneers in the industry. So I'm going to take a deep dive here and get into it a little bit. Of the 8,000, let's just focus on one of the polyphenols that the rest of the scientific and supplement world is really excited about. If you were to Google the words quercetin benefits, quercetin is one of the polyphenols. It's found in many plants like red wine, onions, green tea, apples, berries. You're going to see this is just a short list of things that quercetin is known to improve. Now, if you were just to focus on quercetin and try to take a supplement, let's say I did a reel telling you about all these benefits of quercetin, then you might just go out and buy a quercetin supplement, right? But the problem with isolating nutrients is that you have to take mega doses because it's just not bioavailable. The body doesn't recognize it as food. So that creates a kidney toxicity. You have to take an overdose to get any effect, but you can't do that for too long. You can only take quercetin supplements they recommend for up to 3 months, and that's it, right? So there's all these problems. So all the supplement world is trying to come up with liposomes and nanoparticles and emulsions, all these different ways to get it into your body. We just started to, we started this process with a very bioavailable form, the plants themselves without the water. It's very simple. It goes over people's heads sometimes. That's all really complicated. It sounds really scientific and promising, but the reality is our research shows we had this down in the first place. So Dr. Bresciani, who's an Italian scientist, is a leading expert in polyphenols. So she got very excited when she saw our blends. She said, let's just see if this stuff is bioavailable. So she did a study where she had participants take the fruit, veggie, and berry blend, and at 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, tested their blood to see if there were polyphenols in their blood. And she confirmed the bioavailability of, here you see at least 2 forms of quercetin that's up there. Within an hour, you see a nice rise in several of these polyphenols she's looking at. 2 of them are quercetin, okay? And then, well, that's great. It's in the product and it gets into your blood, but then something very interesting happens at 5 hours. Several other polyphenols show up that weren't even in the product. What's going on? and they're still not eating anything 10 hours later. They haven't eaten any, they have some snacks, but nothing with polyphenols in them. Even more polyphenols are showing up 10 hours later. What's happening? This big view picture emerges where there's a peak at 5 hours of all these other polyphenols, because the ones that are in the product, the bacteria in your gut are eating and converting into other polyphenols, giving you sustained protection. So we're such pioneers in the industry. I don't know if you and I are the only geeks in the room, but come on, we got this. And our research, I love, we learned something we had no idea about, that the bacteria in our gut love polyphenols and make other polyphenols. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about vasodilation. We talked about it earlier. Why is this important? There's so much controversy in the world about a high-fat diet, which is what's good fat, how much fat, blah, blah, blah. One thing we do know is that if you eat a diet high in saturated fat, it will restrict your blood flow for up to 4 to 6 hours by over 40%. So imagine 40% less oxygen, 40% less oxygen to your brain and your heart, less nutrients to the cells in your body. That's like a setup for a health crisis to occur, right? So there are some very, very famous, you have to understand that the research being done on Juice Plus is done by experts in the field, like Doctors Plotnick and Vogel. They did some landmark studies showing this 40% restriction that occurs after a high-fat meal. And they also studied Juice Plus. And in this study, what you're seeing in the gray bars is the placebo group that doesn't take any of the products. Then you see the green bars, baseline, as well as 21 and 28 days later. What happens to the reduction in the reduction, if you will? It's a double negative there. So less of a blood flow reduction from taking the fruit and veggie blend. And then the purple is fruit, veggie, and berry blend. And now you see at 28 days, there's hardly any constriction of blood flow. That, my friends, is very good news for your cardiovascular health.
And while we're on the subject of heart health, how many people here know that your omega-3 index is one of the best ways to measure both current and future risk of cardiovascular health?
So in case you don't know what omega-3 index is, omega-3, they're measuring EPA and DHA, which are omega-3 fatty acids that are known to be very important for brain health, heart health, eye health, etc. Just health overall. And it's pretty easy to measure.
It is, actually. That's something that's really easy to measure. So there's quite a lot of data around the world that you can correlate to health.
Yes, and so I meant to say that the omega-3 index is measuring EPA and DHA in your red blood cells.
And in this recent study, we see that regions such as Alaska, Greenland, Japan have a higher omega-3 index. It's about 8%. However, in North America, Germany, France, Spain, and even the Netherlands, where life is generally pretty good, people have an omega-3 index of around 4% or even less. And the regions that have a higher omega-3 index are typically regions where they're eating more fish. And that's why you hear about the recommendation to eat fish as part of a healthy diet.
Yeah, but eating fish is becoming, unfortunately, more toxic and less sustainable. Nonetheless, the omega-3 index is really important for measuring, for instance, lifespan. It's really correlated to lifespan and life expectancy overall. So as part of this famous Framingham study, one of the studies that was published in 2021 studied a group of 65-year-olds over the course of 11 years. And there's a rather striking correlation to people who have a higher omega-3 index for living almost 5 years longer than those with lower numbers. Of course, other lifestyle factors such as smoking do impact the study. However, even amongst smokers, having a higher omega-3 index made a difference in lifespan. And other studies link higher omega-3 index to 30% lower mortality rate overall, and that's very significant.
That is. And for the last few decades, we've actually heard quite a lot about fish oils. However, the fish don't actually make the omega-3s themselves. They get it from the algae that they eat. And fish oil supplementation has actually come under quite a bit of scrutiny lately.
Yes, people are seeing articles like this and now really becoming confused and shying away from omega supplementation. I always recommended that people get their omegas from plants like seeds and nuts, right? Because I really didn't believe in omega supplementation. But Liza, I'm telling you, the Juice Plus company proved me wrong once again with the omega supplement that you guys came up with.
Yeah, it was an amazing opportunity for us to really develop something that had never been developed before. So we had this opportunity to look at not just omega-3s, but also omega-5s, omega-6s, omega-7s, omega-9s. And looking at the research, we saw that all of those other omegas were actually doing amazing things, even beyond the brain health, heart health, and eye health that the omega-3s are really good at. So our idea was to create an entirely vegan formulation, all from plants, cold-pressed seed oils and cold-pressed fruits, basically, whole sea buckthorn berry oil, that allowed us to have that blend of omegas. But what I think is most interesting about this is the way that we decided to encapsulate this product. You see, most fish oil supplements actually come in something called a soft gel. It's that squishy outer shell. And what most people don't realize is to form that, they're actually using heat and forming it around the oils. As the shell cools, then it hardens a little bit and contains and closes. But what you're adding there is heat and oxygen. And what are the two worst things for oils? Heat and oxygen. So we worked with this encapsulation manufacturer who had this amazing technology where we're able to fill a 2-piece hard shell capsule at room temperature, so we're not including heat. That alone was a game changer. But the second thing I want to point out is that little bubble you see in there, that's not just air, that's nitrogen. We flush that capsule shell with nitrogen right before we close it, because that nitrogen is pushing all of the oxygen out of the capsule shell and further protecting our oils inside from future degradation. So to me, it's the combination of that amazing new technology and the blended omegas from fully vegan sources that really make our omegas stand out.
So those squishy other omega supplements that you see on the market, plus the incredibly high amounts of EPA and DHA that unfortunately so many healthcare professionals are still recommending, those are the reasons that I shied away from omega supplementation. Plus, they smell and give you those fishy burps and forget that. But I love the fact that ours is a balanced blend, and when I researched the benefits of omega-5, omega-6, omega-7, omega-9, I really got, oh wow, there's more power here. We're ahead of the curve. We're gonna learn about these other omegas over time. And it doesn't have too much omega-6, people. All that stuff is about using too much cooking oil, way too much omega. There's nothing like those high amounts of omega-6 in our product. And I really love the fact that I don't get the fishy burps. And let's see what else. Juice Plus omegas actually work. So what they did was they had 4 groups. One group was the control group, didn't take anything. Second group took 2 omegas. Third group took all the essentials. And the fourth group took a double dose of omegas. Now, Liza already talked about the numbers of being greater than 8% is healthy in Alaska, Greenland, and Japan, but us Americans and Europeans, we don't do so well. Well, guess what? With Juice Plus omegas, when you take 2, you get into the 11% omega range. And when you take 4, you're up to like 14%, right? And then there's this synergy of taking all of them together, right? And so, 8 is good, but who wants to be 8? Who wants to be average? I like 14, so I take a double dose.
So Juice Plus Luminate is our next really amazing new product. Yeah, you can cheer for it. It's unique because it has a little bit more of that immediate effect. It's because it has this amazing blend of both nootropics and adaptogens from plants.
Yes, don't let those big words scare you. Nootropics just means that your brain is able to focus more, and adaptogens just make you feel better.
That's right. Those incredible benefits of these ingredients can offer are things like mental focus, attentiveness, laser sharp mental focus, really, enhanced mental clarity, improved working memory, heightened alertness, elevated mood, and may reduce mental fatigue. Are you guys with me here? And because we're a brand that offers so much and wanting to enhance people's lives, we see that this can offer a ton to consumers' lives, such as productivity, feeling sharper, more vitality, and really being more present and embracing every opportunity.
Right, so 93% of Americans are looking for some kind of caffeinated product. 38% of US workers experience fatigue, and 600 million people are experiencing brain fog. So there is a need for Luminate out in the world.
And these are the amazing ingredients that provide those benefits. Those nootropics, that mental focus, comes from the caffeine in the coffee berry fruit. It also comes from that Alpinia galanga, which is part of the ginger family. And those adaptogens are sage, rhodiola, lion's mane, and cordyceps mushrooms, and even ashwagandha. Amazing blends of just amazingly powerful ingredients.
Yeah, I could not take caffeinated coffee or anything, but I've become a Luminate addict, I have to admit.
I can't do coffee.
But you know what I really love about this formulation? It's that combination of the energy, the mental focus, and the mental clarity ingredients, both all working together to provide a non-jittery way to manage your day. And how do we know that? Well, we did some significant research on the ingredients before we introduced them into the formulation, but we also did a survey on the product, on the finished product, to double check that it was actually doing what we expected it to do. And this consumer survey was completed in people who had never heard about Juice Plus, and we didn't tell them what this product was supposed to do. We just asked them generic questions like, do you feel anything? What do you feel when you take this product? Do you have any jitteriness? And the responses you can see on the screen are pretty staggering. But the thing that I think is the most important thing that is up here that we didn't expect is that 91% of people who took Luminate felt like it had an overall positive impact on their day. And to me, that is just huge.
We started the day talking about Nepenthe, that magical potion. Well, this is, I think, the closest thing you're going to get to a Nepenthe. Who doesn't want to wake up feeling a little bit better about themselves and the world around them?
Woo! That's right. You see, as we mentioned, both Mitra and I have had a pretty challenging year. I was actually in a mentally, physical, and emotionally abusive relationship for 19 years with an alcoholic, and was finally able to break free from that. Don't make me cry. I don't like that. But as you guys probably know, it was really, really hard. And having something that can help me kind of restart my life and focus on the things that I really need to do to move past that has been incredibly important.
And I lost my best friend, my husband, 11 months ago. And I got to tell you, I'm so thankful for this community and this nutritional foundation I had that helped me. But there were still days that I just didn't want to get out of bed, right? And then Luminate came out, and I just told myself, just get yourself out of bed and make some Luminate, hot or cold. And it was a game changer. It really was a game changer. And I didn't think I could drink it because I can't drink caffeinated anything. But the adaptogens, it's just a magical formulation, and I'm so grateful of the timing that it came into my life.
And honestly, it's that community that we have at Juice Plus, yeah, for sure. can help us from a nutritional perspective, but it's also the people. It's the community. You are never alone at Juice Plus.
Here's the truth. While people may secretly be searching for that magical nepenthe, the idea of actually trying to forget our pain, whether it be physical or emotional, is just not a good idea, is it? Right? The cells of our body need a nutritional foundation to heal both physically and emotionally. The Juice Plus community the Juice Plus company offers a host of products that are conceived thoughtfully, sourced carefully, processed minimally, and researched ongoingly. Yes. So you can cut through the noise and find solid answers here to support your health. Recently, I also heard the term poverty PTSD, because so many out there are also in need of financial well-being. People need that extra cash, plain and simple. I myself never saw myself as an entrepreneur, but when I got the results I did, I felt like I'd be remiss if I did not share it with everyone that came across my path. And that was 30 years ago.
Wow.
So I know that the majority of the people that have become partners with our company are people who have gotten these amazing results themselves. If you've never tried our products, give them a try, because they're for everyone. And for some of you, you're gonna feel compelled to share it with others. So thank you very much for being here. There is such a world of opportunity here. I have been given a world of opportunity by this company and this product line, and I just love all of you so much.